5 times, in parentheses, 6 minus 3 plus 10 divided by parentheses 8 minus 3. The first step in our order of operations is to do whatever is inside the parentheses. So it doesn't matter in this case which one I do. I'm going to do them both kind of at the same time. So 6 minus 3 is 3. And 8 minus 3 is 5. And then I'm going to write the rest of the problem that I haven't used yet so that I can figure out what my next step is. So when I'm looking at order of operations, I always have to do what is in parentheses first, and then I have to multiply or divide, and then I have to add or subtract. And I do these steps left to right. So when I'm looking at this problem here, I have a multiplication, an adding, and a division. Multiplication is first on the left, so that is what I'm going to do first before I divide. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then I'm going to write the rest of my problem down. And that now says 15 plus 10 divided by 5. I have to do my division first. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. And I will add 15 to that. And 15 and 2 more is 17. Go ahead and pause the video and solve this problem, and unpause it to check your work. Again, my first step is to do what is in parentheses. So I'm going to do 12 plus 5 first. And then I'm going to write down the rest of my problem. Minus 12 divided by 3 times 2. In this case, I have a division problem, 12 divided by 3, before my multiplication problem. So I'm going to do my division first because it's first on the left. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then I have 17 minus 4 is going to be part of my remaining problem. And then I have 12 minus 4 times 2. Again, I have multiplication, so I have to get rid of my multiplication before I can add and subtract. So 8 is what 4 times 2 is equal to. And so now I have my last step, which is 17 minus 8. And that equals 9. I can also use parentheses to help me figure out problems when there aren't parentheses and they give me an answer, and I have to figure out where the parentheses would go. So if I were looking at this problem without parentheses and without having an answer here, I would first do 25 divided by 5 because division is a stronger operation, is kind of how I like to think about it. And then I would subtract 4 from the quotient. However, they said that my answer is 25, so I need to do something with this problem in order to make it 25 as my answer. And if I'm not going to divide first, the only thing I have left then is to subtract first. And the only way for me to subtract before I divide is if I put parentheses around it. So here that gives me 5 minus 4 is 1. And any number divided by 1 is that number, so that gives me my 25 there. Go ahead and look at this problem and try to figure out where the parentheses would go, and then unpause the video to check your work. So if I were to do this problem without parentheses and without having an answer, I would first multiply 5 times 2, because again, we multiply before we add or subtract. So I would have done 5 times 2 is 10, and then I'd have 3 plus 10 minus 10. 3 plus 10 is 13, minus 10 is 3. Well, 3 does not equal 6, so in this case, that would not work. I cannot multiply first. And it does not make sense for me to put parentheses around these numbers because we have not learned how to take a greater number away from a number that is less. So we have not gotten into negative numbers, so it does not make sense for us to put parentheses around this to subtract first. So it only gives me the option of adding first. So if I add, that would be 8. Make sure you're adding and not multiplying. And then I have 8 times 2 minus 10. 8 times 2 would come first since it's multiplication. 16 minus 10 is 6, which is what our answer was supposed to be. So our parentheses go around our addition here first.